Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles in this video. We're going to talk about MrBeast, but the avenue we're going to take on it is that the Daily Beast is very angry about MrBeast, and I think the media is going to use the MrBeast allegations to potentially take down YouTube, or at least put another huge dent in YouTube, which is going to hurt a lot of content creators.
Shocker. The media who's mad that YouTube's eating their lunch is going to try to take down YouTube with this. Shocker.
Yeah, they're already working on it. But congratulations. This is what I said in the other video. I said, congratulations, Jimmy. You just hurt everybody else. I don't think he cares. I really don't. They do have some very valid points in this article about MrBeast and all the stuff going on, but then they go down the rabbit hole. Well, YouTube has been enabling the alt-right for years now. So,
oh my God, that's what they're going with?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I love it. So anybody that they agree with, their opinions are just valid. But if you don't vote politically, because you have to make everything about politics, even though a lot of people on YouTube aren't even American.
Yeah.
I'm just like, would you just stop with this stupidity? I'm just so tired of. They bring Trump up in this too?
I think he might be brought.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
They bring up New Zealand and they tie it to PewDiePie.
That was a long time ago, and you can't control people do.
No.
Like, people can do things. You could be like, you know, do cute kitty videos.
Well, yeah,
And
you could do
you know
kitty
what
videos.
I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like cats. And then somebody go do something and say, oh, I'm blowing up the school because your cat in your video told me to. It's not your fault, but they're nuts.
Your cat told me to kill people.
That's what I'm saying. It's not your fault, they're nuts.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So wait, so that's like arguing that the horrible thing that happened with the attack in England with a Taylor Swift dance class would be Taylor Swift's fault.
Yes.
That would be the same logic. Are you making that argument, Kaylee?
So let's ironically it's Kaylee Donaldson in relation to MrBeast, but no. So I wanna get into this part here before we get into this article. The Washington Post puts it very succinctly: turmoil at the Daily Beast has staffers headed for the exits. Yeah, they're laying a bunch of people off the Daily Beast. They need as many hits as they can possibly get, and I think they're going to try to take YouTube down with them. And so is the Washington Post, by the way, because Washington Post just a day or two ago put up a hit piece on Tim Pool. The skate park was thriving. Then a right-wing YouTuber.
I didn't think Tim Pool was Republican.
He's not. I don't think he was. He might be now. I don't know. I know when he first started, he wasn't. He was actually a Bernie
at this
guy.
point in time, anybody like right of extreme far batshit crazy left is considered alt-right. So
yes.
Doesn't mean anything.
So we have this going on. We have them trying very hard to take down Elon Musk. And it seems like a lot of news outlets are just looking for any and all reason to attack alternative media, anything outside of their ecosystem. And they're so mad about Twitter. They're still mad about Twitter. But look at all the hit pieces they've done on MrBeast just in the last couple of months. We got MrBeast, sorry I joked about selling black people. We've got YouTuber MrBeast accused of hiring registered sex offender.
So Daily Beast is just they're just trying to get views, basically. Yeah. Okay.
This is cheat sheet. MrBeast sues the company behind the disgusting burgers. Yeah, that whole thing was a debacle. And also, MrBeast vows to make changes amid toxic workplace allegations. Yeah, so they're definitely looking for a reason. And look, a lot of the adpocalypses they occurred because the media caught wind of YouTubers doing something or certain kinds of content or whatever, and they hate YouTube. They do, because they try to YouTube. A lot of these people try to YouTube, and they might have this, supposedly this really big following on their blog or on other social media platforms, but then you go to their YouTube and it's like nobody watches them. Mm-hmm. They don't care. But we're going to go into this article because there's a lot of salt, but they're also not completely wrong either, because I think there's a lot of bullshit going on with MrBeast, and I think a lot of stuff was not checked as well as it should be, and it is going to hurt everybody else. My comment is
it's automatically like, oh, it's because the alt-right. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry. Oh, for crap's sake.
For poop's sake, everyone.
My cat says you're full of shit.
Poop.
My cat says you're full of poop. Anyway, continue.
We have to clean up our act. Oh yeah, and that hasn't even got us into this whole thing.
Oh, the community notes?
I talked about that briefly yesterday. Yeah, they're going to be testing new community notes. So I can almost guarantee you these journalists are going to be going out to all the YouTubers' videos that they don't like and fact check, quote unquote,
because
quote unquote, fact checking
the
them.
taste maker. They know.
Yes. Well, they're already on YouTube. Like if you talk about COVID or you talk about anything that you know, or you talk about January 6th or anything that's like potentially controversial, even mentioning it in passing. In fact, we'll probably get a note on this. They will throw a Wikipedia link on your video. We did a podcast episode talking about Steven Spielberg and aliens.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And because we joked about lizard people and the lizard people conspiracy theory.
It was a joke. It was clearly a joke in
context.
As a joke,
they put a note on our video and saying you need to go out to Wikipedia for the truth about that.
Well, first of all, they tell you to go to Wikipedia for the truth about anything. You know it's bullshit anyway.
It's user-generated content, and it all comes from one side of the aisle. So
basically what I'm hearing is they have a deal with Wikipedia?
Yeah. It's been compromised. Anyway, as the YouTube giant scrambles amidst myriad controversies and scandals, we wonder if this was an inevitable outcome in today's flawed, problematic content creation industry. Reminder, they're all getting shit canned here pretty soon, so they're very angry about it.
Their obsession with people they think are on the right would be a problem with current year digital media.
Yeah, you would think.
But can I say that?
Can you?
They can say whatever they want. I'm just,
Are we going to get community noted? Probably will. So they're going through the list of allegations. Are you up to speed with all of the current allegations?
No, but you don't have to read them all to me. I'm sure I'll hear about it later because he's been talking about it daily.
Well, I'm talking about it daily because I knew this was going to blow up into a huge fiasco. And being YouTubers ourselves, I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, this is going to hurt the rest of us. It absolutely
always does. That's not surprising.
It doesn't even matter if they're guilty or not. Look at the situation with PewDiePie. There were accusations that there was a PDF file ring on YouTube that they were tagging family videos, like the vlogging and stuff, which blew that up. So every time there's a sizable YouTuber, the media takes the opportunity to rip apart the whole thing. The whole platform, because they can't stand it. But yeah, they're talking about the Ava Chris Tyson thing in the Discord chats. They're talking about
well, if things are wrong, it should be called out.
Yeah,
the one thing about to the media tearing things up, if they're legitimately and they're being honest and there's something legitimately wrong, it should be called out. Right. I want to make that clear.
And I do believe there's some bullshit going on with MrBeast. I've talked about it in a couple of videos. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do think his image, is a mask. I think it's a, he's the face of a business.
I've never met him, so I don't know, but I'm just saying, yeah, I also know, I see both sides of it because I see like people might be honest, but I also know that the timing is really odd, but
yeah.
Yeah. I think the truth lies in the middle. Like
I think he's not the saint that he tries to portray himself as being, but also, I think the media is going to use any and all opportunities. They've been trying to take him down since there was an article in 2017 when he was like a teenager, and they were trying to take him down back then. And so they've been gunning for him for a while. Any YouTuber that gets a sizable following becomes a huge target to the mainstream media. But yeah, they're talking about how Jimmy Donaldson always seemed to be handing out massive amounts of money, whether it was to other YouTubers, to Ugandan villages in need of wells, God forbid, or people on the street who were smart enough to have subscribed to his channel. But these recent developments are sadly unsurprising. Donaldson redefined YouTube, but he couldn't stop himself from becoming the exact problem the site embodies. They basically said that his altruism is for views, and it's not legit.
Yeah, here's the thing, and it's something that does bother me. And I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I mention it all the time in private to family and stuff. I think if you're helping somebody, I see videos, they're helping somebody, but then they just slap it up on the internet for views and like, I'm going to pretend like I don't have anything to see if you help me and then give you a bunch of money, or I'm going to go buy homeless people food and I'm going to stalk them to see if they go to buy, or I'm going to give them money and see if they go buy booze. And oh, look, they're doing something nice. And it's insulting to the people, unless they're actors that are working for you. it's insulting to the people that you're doing that. Like if you're helping people, you should be helping people because that's the right thing to do, not because you're going to monetize it to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just me. But you know, I hate that. Like you can help people and you can do charity things, benefits and stuff to raise money to help people. But I don't think you need to put their faces all over the internet and be like, look, I helped them, you know, to get more views. That always bothered me.
They talked about how the former CEO, Susan Wojcicki, well, she passed away. I think it's Wojcicki.
Whatever, but it was weird. That
Mama
whole thing's
Susan.
Listen, we're not even going to that one.
I'm not going to go into that, but the timing is weird. I'm just going to say the time. I don't want to get a note. I don't want to get a Wikipedia note on this video. But yeah, they said they love him because he makes them a lot of money. They said to many, he's the face of YouTube, a symbol of how the platform can be both a democratized way for anyone to become famous outside of the traditional entertainment system, but also how it can be used for the betterment of others. Now, I want to put a pin in that right there because it wasn't, and they actually bring this up, they're missing a huge piece. It wasn't as organic.
No.
And to say that, oh, it's outside of the system is actually not true either. His management company was bankrolled by the Chernin Group, which is a Hollywood investment group. And they invest in a lot of different movies and TV shows and whatever. So he's had Hollywood bankrolling for years.
And like anything else, if you know how to use your money right, you can make anything big.
It takes money to make money. That's 100% true. It takes connections. So he used every tool at his disposal. And they're going to talk about this, and this is not untrue. I mean, nobody gets to 300 plus million subscribers on YouTube in a relatively short period of time. I mean, we're talking like he went from like 0 to 60 in like 5 years or whatever. But they said the myth of Donaldson is he's just a scrappy Gen Zer who lucked his way to the top and decided to share in his good fortune. But that was never true. I do agree with that. It was calculated. He has been very open about how he spent his youth finding ways to game YouTube's algorithm to discover what goes viral and why he could replicate it.
Now but here's the thing. That's just smart research and business. Anybody can do that. You know what I mean? If you spend the time to learn how to do it, which is constantly changing, but if you spend the time, then yeah, if you put the effort in.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
he did say before he was completely obsessed with watching YouTube to see how the algorithm works. Now, here's the thing. The algorithm changes. Now, what I think could happen because of this, especially if it turns out a lot of the stuff is true, is that the algorithm could change, and what they will promote instead of individual YouTubers is corporate crap.
Brand safe. Hollywood.
Hollywood's
going to win. The media is going to win.
Absolutely.
That's why they want this to. That's why we're seeing these articles.
And YouTube has already said, and this is their new CEO, they said that they're basically going to try to take on Netflix and Disney Plus, and they know what kind of power they have, and they're not going to I don't think they're ever going to let another MrBeast happen.
But here's
especially
the kicker,
after this.
though. This is why it's stupid, though. YouTube is dominating because of not just MrBeast, but people that are like independent people is why it's dominating. You give that over to Hollywood, you're just gonna have the same thing, and you might as well just hand it back to Netflix because they're gonna kick your ass anyway.
Yeah. So this is what he said. He describes spending countless hours obsessing over every detail of his content, right down to the brightness of his own face in a thumbnail for maximum clicks. Every video is made with the explicit aim of intense virality and with the profits to match it. He's even admitted that personality in his work would be bad for business when all that matters is views. What viral content means is that the MrBeast mold is a combination of carnival games, poverty porn.
Poverty porn is a good way of saying
abject humiliation.
Because that's what makes me upset. I mean, I am 100%. 1,000% behind people actually going out there and helping people because they want to help people. And I know there's different channels that do show you they're helping people because they show you what the money's going to. And they're out there doing legitimate things and they're growing their channel, but they're doing it in a way that's actually legitimately helping people, not because they're just trying to get clicks. I'm 100% for that, especially if the people that are involved agree to it. Well, what I don't like are these ones where they corner people unsuspecting, supposedly, and they do that. Well, it's staged to look that way.
It was staged because I do remember I watched an interview with him this is years ago, and they talked about like his first, like he had the one where he counted to, what was it, 1 million or something like that. But then he had another video where he gave a guy like $10,000 on the street, right? A homeless guy. And I think he was one of the first people to do that. And then a lot of people were like, here's me just being a nice guy and giving a guy a sandwich or whatever. I'm going to film it and put it on Facebook. And it's like, God, I'd be humiliated if I was the recipient, right? But he gave the guy, I think it was like $10,000. But he actually said that he went to his talent agency, which is Night Media, which was owned or operated or has funding from the Chernin Group. And they only wanted to give him a couple $1,000s to play with. And he demanded $10,000 because he's like, well, $10,000 is going to go viral. $50 isn't going to go anywhere. So he's been, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he did think about that. Like the number has to be good. Then I'm just going to go find a homeless guy and give it to him so I can make a bunch more money. So it is very calculated. It's very, and I agree with that. He said the generosity is frequently coupled with Donaldson's endless cries for people to like and subscribe or straight up bribery of his fans to augment his numbers, offering gifts and cash prizes, stunts his former employees claimed were fixed and potentially illegal. Apparently, he did multiple live streams to get his numbers up early on where he was talking kids into buying t-shirts. You had to buy a t-shirt to enter the
to see if you got a signed one or got extra stuff in your
right.
box.
And that's not legal. I don't know. I am not a lawyer.
That one I don't know about.
But yeah, he basically said everything is questionable. But here's where it gets tricky because this is going to hurt YouTube. So you look at Donaldson's myriad problems and realize how many of them are also those of YouTube in general, an almighty monopolistic force, an online video sharing that has never been able to shake off its problematic elements.
What's problematic? Let me guess. Anything that this person doesn't agree to or doesn't vote the way they want.
Experts have spent years calling out YouTube's role in the algorithmic radicalization of young people, something they were first publicly warned of in 2018.
Well,
yes, one of the apocalypses.
TikTok and all that was the same.
Yeah.
I would argue the same. I argue it's worse, but I don't see this person go after TikTok.
I think TikTok is a bigger threat than YouTube because I think Gen Z now are watching more TikTok than YouTube. I think the YouTube audience is there's still younger people watching YouTube, but it seems in general, at least with the commentary channels and the gaming channels, the ones I subscribe to, that the audience is aging up too. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And the next part, the white supremacist gunman who killed 51 people in Christchurch, New Zealand was radicalized through online hate groups, including YouTube.
No, he name-checked my understanding is he name-checked a bunch of people, including PewDiePie, because he just wanted to go out with as much noise as he could.
I thought last time it was they were radicalized because of video games.
Yes.
And then I thought they were radicalized because of Twitter. And then I thought they were radicalized because of Tumblr. I thought they were radicalized because of Facebook. I really wish you'd pick one because it seems to change whenever you want. And I was like, that was one. It was online hate groups including. So there was other ones. Why weren't you mentioning everyone individually so people could see the reality of it? No. You're not, because it doesn't go along with your narrative here.
So there's that, and they've been going after PewDiePie and stuff, for years about that. They're blaming PewDiePie.
Again, like I said, I don't see them blaming Taylor Swift.
No,
and
right?
Nor should they, because it's not her fault, and she felt terrible about it. I know PewDiePie felt terrible about this happening too. It's not their fault. They're
talking about the family vloggers abusing their kids for views, which I do agree with that. That did happen. And I think because of the COPPA situation, I think that pretty much ended. But they don't have to adhere to SAG-AFTRA guidelines in terms of pay or working hours. YouTube wanted to disrupt the entertainment world and then open it up to everybody, but all it did was end up allowing the same cycle of exploitation as traditional media, but without cushioning of union safety.
But this person's wrong, because you qualify, you can.
You can if you want to.
You join them if you want to. It's open to you to join. You don't have to, but you can.
We're actually eligible. We're actually.
I don't think they want us after last time.
Oh, hell no. I would never, because they tell you what to do, right?
We don't do well with that.
I think they're mad because YouTube does exist, for better or for worse. It exists outside this ecosystem and they cannot stand it. And they would love, I guarantee you, SAG-AFTRA would love to have a cut of MrBeast's revenue. Every video. And you wouldn't be, I don't think you'd be seeing these hit pieces. I think if they were getting a cut, I don't think you'd be seeing all these hit pieces.
Because they want to keep it going. It's like they're claiming YouTube does because they want their cut.
Yeah, so they're talking about how Jacksepticeye said that he hates what YouTube has become, which I actually do. I do agree with him. I think YouTube has changed for the worse, but I don't think it's just because of MrBeast. I think a lot of things about YouTube have changed, but every time there is a high profile fiasco, whether it's him or Logan Paul or whatever it is, YouTube changes for the worse. Now, we had a bunch of longtime YouTubers check out this year. And I think they're looking at the long term and they're like, yeah, if this is what it takes to compete, that, I can't do it. I can't compete with that. How are you supposed to compete with MrBeast?
Yeah.
You can't, but that's okay. The media might take him out for you. You don't have to, and everybody will come back or whatever. They said a single person can still feasibly become a star on the site, but it's far harder in the current ecosystem. The algorithm prioritizes work like Donaldson's, which are costly produced, or Hollywood Studios. Oh, well, there we go. Our Hollywood Studios premiering their latest trailers. Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I think it's gonna do a lot of damage to YouTube.
But the Daily Beast wants that.
They want that. Time. I think they want to sit back and laugh.
They didn't mention Trump though, so there,
They didn't.
Shocker.
But they did mention, radicalization.
And because these people are crazy because they're on YouTube.
Because they're on YouTube, yes.
The thing is, again, you can't control what other people do. Like, if someone does it, you didn't tell them to do it. You never even hinted to do something. And they do something because they're bad shit. That's not your fault.
No, but it's going to happen. And people are going to take, geez, look at what happened with Ronald Reagan, right? Jodie Foster.
Most people don't even know what you're talking about.
Because I'm old.
I know, but a lot of people don't
Google it. Google Ronald Reagan, Jodie Foster. And it like one thing had nothing to do with the other, but in that person's mind, it had something to do with it. I don't want to get a Wikipedia note on this video. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.